Hello everybody. Okay, so now the audio issue is sorted. Thank you very much once again, and thanks for being with me here. So I'm doing a live session right now, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put my mic on the side and put the headphones on. This is a live session, so basically there are some hiccups when you're doing live sessions. This is not a pre-recorded session, and the reason why I'm doing this live session is so that I can discuss and talk to you guys about your questions if you have any, and we're gonna scroll through the X right now and see what exactly is happening as in this Middle East region, and any updates, recent updates. So as you know that the deal was about to be made between Iran and the US, and things were really going fine. Pakistan was playing a very important role, and just give me a second, I need to sort. Okay, so it is sorted now. Yes, so coming back to what exactly is happening right now. A lot of things are happening right now. There are a lot of mediators now who are involved, and what we can see right now is that the President Trump is taking his time. Obviously, there are concerns in the White House that he has been sharing with us on his Truth Social, and those are basically genuine concerns about the way Iran is dealing with its nuclear assets and the way the world and the US wants them to be dealt with. Obviously, Pakistan has played a very important role, and Pakistan has always played a very important role as a mediator, but there is a limit uh, to anything and everything that one country can do, and I think that limit is basically is to convince both the parties to sit on a table and negotiate without breaking the ceasefire. And it seems the ceasefire is there. Definitely, ceasefire is there, and it's not going anywhere right now. But right now, I'm just reading Jennifer Jacobs, who's from CBS News, and she just shared truth details, a screenshot. Trump, on his conference call with Middle East leaders Saturday, asked all of the allies to sign into the Abraham Accord as part of the Iran agreement. So, sources told CBS News. Today, he put in writing those countries discussed are Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, already a member, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, Bahrain, already a member. Okay, so this is very interesting now, because as we were heading towards a ceasefire, and suddenly President Trump is now talking about the Accords. This is absolutely the main reason why the talks are now being delayed, and the main reason is that Israel is looking for a way out. Israel wants to make sure that these countries, which are part of the whole Middle East and who are mediating between Iran, need to be part of this Abraham Accord for the safety and security of Israel and its sovereignty, and safety and security from all those proxies that Iran has in Syria and other parts of the world, especially Yemen. So this is very interesting. This is, I think, there's these Abraham Accord, and the emphasis by the President Trump is basically to make sure that Iran and the proxies don't attack Israel again, and the aggression stops there. So, quoting President Trump, I stated that after all the work done by the United States to try and pull this very complex puzzle together, it should be mandatory that all of these countries, at a minimum, simultaneously sign on to Abraham Accords. Those countries discussed are Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, already a member, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, Bahrain, already a member. It may be possible that one or two have a reason for not doing so, which President Trump understands probably the reasons these countries have not to join, and that will be accepted. So he's also okay with that if one or two don't join, but he wants majority of the Middle East to join Abraham Accords and probably be a somebody who can guarantee safety and security for Israel. Just need to fix this camera so when I move my head, I stay in the frame. Okay, so this is very interesting right now. What you're reading right now. I mean, definitely very soon I'll have a screen share so we can discuss that also. Now moving on towards more tweets that we are seeing right now on this whole issue. I mean, obviously this is one of the biggest issue right now. That has occupied the whole world. So Jana Chokier, she is Reuters Middle East journalist, and now she's saying that Iranian top negotiators Kalibaf and Foreign Minister Arachi are in Doha to meet Qatar's PM over potential US-Iran deal to end conflict. Official briefed on the visit to Reuters. Discussions in Doha are primarily focused on Strait of Hormuz, highly enriched uranium. Official briefed on visit to Reuters. So this is interesting. This is very interesting because the chief of Iranian negotiating team is now in Qatar. So we thought that things were really sorted in Tehran day before yesterday when Pakistan's Field Marshal Asim Munir was there with his team, but it seems things are still underway, which is a positive sign. At least they are traveling, and so we are still looking for some more news on Iran right now, and right now what I'm seeing, because obviously I'm from Pakistan, so there's a very important visit happening right from the Prime Minister and the Field Marshal and all the important ministers of Pakistan. They're all in China right now to celebrate the 75th years of friendships. This is which is a good thing, but we'll talk about it later on. Right now we're just surfing on about what's happening in Middle East. Yes, so Iranians are in Doha, which is very interesting because before that, what the rumor was that they asked the Qataris to probably leave Tehran the day before yesterday, which was a rumor. I mean, there's no confirmed report about that, but now they're in Doha, which means that things are moving forward. Secretary of State Rubio is in India. Very interesting pictures with his wife in front of Taj Mahal. Okay. So, ISNA citing senior Iranian diplomat, if the US fulfills its commitments in potential MOU. Okay, interestingly, this word MOU, which President Trump also tweeted, is something that Pakistanis use a lot. It's called Memorandum of Understanding. So, ideally, it would have been commitments in potential accord, Islamabad Accord, but okay, let's call it an MOU. The nuclear issue and highly enriched uranium reserves will be discussed in 60-day negotiations in exchange for lifting of sanctions and unfreezing of assets. So, things are moving as President Trump highlighted that the Iranians are now talking about the uranium enrichment, and yes, it seems they are now backtracking on the early statements, especially from the Supreme Leader about not handing over uranium to any country. The management of the Strait of Hormuz is an Iranian Omani issue which Tehran is negotiating with Oman. Okay, this is, I mean, yes, Iranians now have taken the control of Strait of Hormuz. Very interesting times these days. But definitely, we don't want Iranians to be in control of this whole strait, which is not good. So, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is reaping unexpected wins from the Iran war, from an oil windfall to fresh momentum for Saudi Arabia's logistic ambitions. Oh, this is good. So, this is Bloomberg. Uh, Good news for Saudi Arabia. We can definitely go and see what exactly is the whole story about. Okay, let's leave it there. We are still looking for more updates on Iran and Middle East. So Al Arabia English, let's see what they are saying. Upon signing the MOU, Iran again MOU. It should have been an accord. It's not an MOU. But then again, MOU is something that's used by Pakistanis a lot. So yes, I would call it an accord. Iran will immediately reopen the Strait of Hormuz and take steps to ensure traffic returns to pre-war conditions within 30 days. Our diplomat familiar with the matter says. Okay, this is very confusing because right now we just read that Iran wants to keep the control of Strait of Hormuz with Omani government, and now here they are saying after the accord they are going to hand it over. So who will they hand it over to? Is very interesting. I don't know what there's a lot of posturing from both sides. Definitely more from Iran right now, as the President Trump is waiting. Iran and the US and allies will also immediately end military operations on every front, including Lebanon, according to the stipulated proposal, the diplomat says. The proposal includes Iran reaffirming that it will never develop nuclear weapons and agreeing to dispose of its stockpile. Okay, this is again far fetched because, again, since yesterday, Iran has been very clear that they will not talk about the whole uranium enrichment. Now, if they are talking about, we are not, at least we are not clear. The Middle East media is giving a different picture. With the Western media is talking about something else. The Iranian media is totally talking about something else. So there's a lot of confusion. We still have no clear picture. But I would trust the Iranian media more because they are giving out the messages that are being sent out by IRCG, which is actually controlling the Iran. So now there's a mediation team that is working, and then there are the people who run the country, the people who have the power, and definitely what we hear from the mediators is way more different than what we are reading and listening from from the team that is there. I mean, obviously, it is very confusing. So now this is breaking Al Jazeera. Iran Navy says it's coordinated passage of 32 ships through Hormuz in past 24 hours. Okay, now if Iran is now, you see, this posturing is not helping the world at least because if 32 ships passed in last 24 hours, imagine thousand, I mean, hundreds of them passed every day, but now only 32. So the, it's still choked, and we are not sure that if they allowed American ships, ships from Emirates, from countries with whom Iran has an issue. Yes, so these ships passed after obtaining permission with the coordination and security of IRGC. Okay, now this is very funny because IRGC Navy will never provide security and coordination to American or ships of Iranian adversaries or who have been involved in this war. So bad luck, guys. It's not that simple right now. The possible Iran deal is 95% complete, but the final stretch may take days. US officials say that the plan would formally end the war, reopen the Strait of Hormuz without tolls, and eventually address Iran enriched nuclear material. I mean, we are hearing this since last 1 week or 2 weeks, and still there's some different. This is Fox News, by the way, and they're quoting US officials. So Fox News has a totally different perspective, which is aligned with the Middle Eastern media outlets, but Iranian news channels are talking totally different. I mean, the tone and the messaging there is totally different. Iran could see billions in frozen assets released and oil sanctions waivers, but only if officials say Tehran holds up its end of the bargain. Okay. So writers, no, so this is not right. This is RT. Trump drops a wall of text on Iran. Talks are going well, and he wants Iran to join. Okay, Abraham Accord. Okay, that's amazing. If Iran can join Abraham Accord, which I don't think so, this regime will ever do. But that's too much of optimism by President Trump. Good luck. Okay, the Hormuz letter. Iran foreign minister now officially confirms that no Iranian nuclear commitment and uranium handover exists or will exist in any draft agreement with the US. Okay, so this is Hormuz letter. They're quoting the foreign minister of Iran, and this guy totally refused, and he's like, okay, I mean, we don't care. Based on that issue, the statement declares we are not signing any agreement with the US, and no one can claim we are close to reaching an agreement. Iran separately stated to Tasnim, I mean, the Tasnim is their official news outlet in Iran. They are now on the verge of cancelling the negotiations completely. So this might be, I'm not too sure. Is this posturing? Is this for their own audience in Iran? Is this for the world? Americans are talking about something totally different. The Middle Eastern news outlets and the Pakistani outlets are all, excited, and we're getting very, very different news from Iran. Okay, so this is another one. Putin and Bahrain's king Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa discussed by phone the need to find a rapid diplomatic resolution to Iran crisis. Okay, now Russia has jumped in, and Russia is in touch with who? With Bahrain. Bahrain is a very, very close ally of the US, so this is very interesting. So is Bahrain tilting towards Russia? We don't know. We are not clear as of now, but obviously, if Russia and Bahrain are in negotiations to find a solution to Iran, maybe Bahrain wants Russia to put some pressure on Iran to, get things sorted, which will be very interesting. If Putin jumps in, things might either speed up or totally end up nowhere, because Putin has really pissed off the West by bombing Ukraine day before yesterday. So I'm not sure how this will go. Okay, so I've got one viewer right now, so I'll definitely encourage more viewers to please join. And the reason this is a live session, because I want to talk to you guys. Okay, Al Arabiya English. Iran Supreme Leader is holed up in undisclosed location. CBS reports citing US intelligence. Obviously, he won't be sharing his GPS. Definitely is holed up somewhere deep down. Expected US Iran agreement delayed because of difficulty of communicating with Khomeini living in fortified bunker. And obviously, he's going to say, I'm not going to do this. So, Iranian negotiators are struggling to communicate with their own government, slowing progress in the talks. Senior US official tells CBS that Khomeini agreed to broad outlines of the current draft agreement against US officials. I don't know. I mean, is this an excuse to delay the negotiation of the deal by the Americans, like blaming the Iranians? Let's see. It's very interesting times these days, but let's see how it goes. So this is Al Jazeera. This is a bit old news. This is I think yesterday. U.S. President Donald Trump has told his representatives not to rush into any deal with Iran, as his administration played down hopes of an imminent breakthrough in the 3-month-old U.S.-Israel war on Iran that had been raised a day earlier. Okay. Yes, so this is interesting. This is the first time Iran has sent both the parliament speaker and the foreign minister in Doha. That is Fox News. The first time Iran has sent them both at once. Yes, in Doha, but they have been in Pakistan together. So, okay. But I'm not too sure because if the senior US officials are apprehensive about the delays and reaching out to the supreme leader, these mediators are just. But don't forget that Iran destroyed Doha's LNG terminals. Iran destroyed the American bases there. Iranian drones were hitting hard at Qatar, and this is very interesting that now the both top negotiators from Iran are in Qatar. Doha is being very reasonable, very mature, allowing them in. So now this is Iran Observer. Now that Iran Observer is again. Let me see this account. Who's running this account? We can find out. Okay, I'm not too sure, but they're very optimistic. They're saying that the US is gonna release their frozen funds. Let's see. Let's see how things go. But I mean, very interesting part is that Russian Putin and Bahraini king, which is I think the biggest breaking news right now, because if Russia is jumping in this whole conflict, that means that President Trump probably has asked him to use his influence on Iran, and which is a very positive thing because you see, so far we haven't seen a breakthrough that we were looking for. President Trump was very optimistic about his proposal, and we all knew that Iran will never agree to those. So, if President Putin is now in the picture, that means that President Trump might have asked him to help him get a deal with Iran. And now, if Putin is involved, we might hear some good news very soon. Yeah, the Israel War Room. News statement from President Trump on negotiations with Iran and expanding the Abraham Accord. Negotiations with Islamic Republic of Iran are proceeding nicely. It will only be a great deal for all, or no deal at all. Back to battlefront and shooting, but bigger and stronger than ever before. So yes, Israel War Room has also it's Israel War Room again is as a news outlet on X. Yeah, so this is what Iran Observer was talking about. It's the breaking news right now. A regional source states that the United States has agreed to release 12 billion in Iranian funds. Details provided by the source: 12 billion has been deposited in Qatari banks. Okay, I'm not too sure. A high-level Iranian delegation is currently in Qatar negotiating how the funds can be transferred to Iran. President Trump can politically sell this as money coming from Qatar rather than. Okay, you guys have told this what the president is going to sell. And you guys have also told that those guys are there. Those guys. I mean, okay, Iran Observer is like bit high right now, because I don't think so. Trump is going to give a single penny to Iran until unless Iran signs a deal and agrees to the terms and conditions being put forward by the US. There is no lollipop, free food, nothing, free coffee, nothing. So that is what Trump is. The Atlantic. Okay, the Atlantic says, I mean, that's the heading, that Donald Trump approach to the Iran war reflected his personality, not strategy, and he is on his way to losing the war for that reason. Okay, that's a bit hard. I would not say he's going to lose the war, because if there's no war, everybody wins. If there is a war, then somebody loses it. So, okay, that is a bit on the hard side for President Trump. So, guys, these are a couple of headlines and a couple of breaking news right now. I will definitely join you again. So, this was my first podcast, and I hope you enjoyed it. The reason I'm going out live is because I want you guys to come and ask your questions in comments, and then definitely I can answer those. So, have a nice day. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.